This is Carson is Awesome 642, and today I'm going to talk to you about numerous toys I owned during childhood, which is why I have these up and about. We're going to be discussing toys that I had from multiple different videos over the course of my life, starting with one of the most well known of these videos, the Baby Einstein series. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You used to own some of these? Why aren't they on here? Well, I used to be a regular contributor to here until I went a little overboard with that. So I thought, why not make a video showcasing all the toys I had in Baby Einstein and its ripoffs. These will be three separate videos, so stay tuned for the ripoffs. You will like what you have to see. So let us take a look at the toys I used to own from Baby Einstein. There isn't a whole lot to say about Language Nursery, except that my paternal grandparents, used to own the Rock-A-Stack, the original. I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking. Your grandparents must have had a whole lot of toys when you were a kid. Well, in fact, my paternal grandparents and maternal grandparents had them. So I'm going to refer to them as paternal and maternal from here on out. So yeah, just to clarify, my paternal grandparents had the Rock-A-Stack. Moving on, my neighbors had the Raggedy Ann, but I'm not exactly sure if it was exact or not. I do remember seeing this in preschool once. I don't know if it was that or the Melissa and Doug ones. I did see this in in the hospital, the Gunderson Lutheran Hospital. I used to do a few therapy sessions there, here and there, because I was autistic, and this was one of the toys they had, the musical clock. My YMCA had this in their baby room. Okay, next we'll move on to Baby Mozart. I can't really say a whole lot about this, except I saw the non exact version of this at Goodwill. When I went to go for it a few months after that, it was already bought. Anyways, we're gonna move on. Although I do remember seeing this in in one of my old photo albums. I think that belonged to my cousin. I don't know for sure. Believe it or not, I actually saw Ricky Rooster in a Southpaws Enterprises catalog. If you don't know what that is, that's a company that makes all sorts of things for autistic sensory needing children. My local college had this when I did therapy sessions there with my younger brother, who is also autistic. Not a whole lot much I could say. My library has this. It used to have the non exact version with different colors. It also used to have this, the cow, except the tongue was pretty much torn off. I don't know why that is, but okay. Alright, Baby Bach is next. There isn't a whole lot I could say about this either. My fourth grade teacher had the lollipop drum. I'm not exactly sure if it was exact or not. It probably wasn't. Funny thing about the village animated skating pond, in a few videos I saw at the St. Nick's store in Littleton, Colorado, the store is actually still selling this. Believe it or not. Moving on. I saw this at my library. I used to have this, the red reed version. Uh, I used to have these as well. My library also had two of these, one that was regular and one that was inside out, criminally inside out. I used to have this. Barnes and Noble has this. I had something similar to this. It was not it's not the exact one you're looking for though. My special ed teacher had the rainbow version, which is a whole lot more common, unfortunately. Alright, next is Baby Shakespeare. I do remember using to own the Gearation. My preschool and also another therapy place I went to, Partners in Excellence, had the same toy. Next, I remember seeing this at church once, and this was being advertised in a constructive playthings catalog, believe it or not. I had this as a baby. Now, the thing about these three, I didn't own them, mind you, is that they are part of the Learning Curve Lionel agreements that they made for Lionel's 100th anniversary in 2000. They stopped making them once the license expired, but you can still find them online. My younger sister has this. It's still sitting in her room, even though she is now at college. Nothing for the flashcards. What will we find in Baby Van Gogh? I do not know. Hmm, not a whole lot I could say. This, along with the octopus from Language Nursery, were shown in a Constructive Playthings catalog, but they weren't being advertised. The shelves they were sitting on were. Go to a store that does not have this. I guarantee you, you will not find a store that doesn't have this. I've seen it at Barnes& and Noble plenty of times. My OT teacher in elementary school used to have this. I'm not exactly sure if it's the exact one, though. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. My special ed teacher had a green doodle top, and it worked just as well as the one in the video does. Not a whole lot I can say. This was being advertised in the Constructive Playthings catalog as well. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. So I apologize in advance if it will annoy the heck out of you. Nothing for the tutorial, or Baby Santa for that matter, except there may be a few things coming up later. I just don't know for sure. As you know, there are many different versions of the Holiday Express. Since it's a model train set, it's pretty expensive. look on eBay and check out the prices and the shipping prices. The add-on cars are much and station are a bit cheaper, though not really as cheap as you'd like them to be. There's not really a whole lot I can say. One thing about the holiday around the carousel, you do not have to have the exact one with the railing and the ticket booth. It just has to have the exact animals: the lion, the tiger, the two sleighs, and the zebra and the other horses and stuff. Just getting that out there. As a matter of fact, I think it would be much cheaper to buy the carousel without the railing and ticket booth. Alright. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot else I can say. I do remember seeing this on Etsy. Unfortunately, it was sold and it hasn't been seen since. The exact one with the exact bottom in the video. But yeah, it was sold and nothing's been heard of it since. Neighborhood Animals is next. My younger brother used to have a different version of the Dalmatian chase. The slides were blue, there were no flags, the Dalmatians sucked climbing up the stairs, and it played a song. I used to own Mousetrap. It broke, so I got another one. And a matter of fact, my YMCA used to own the exact one shown in the video. I used to own this as well. Alright, next is World Animals, and there's not a whole lot else I can say about it. This is a powder blue tang, by the way. It really doesn't matter. It's still a blue tang. It's just not a regal blue tang like Dory is. The Choo Choo Zoo train I remember seeing at a campground in the Dells. The Wisconsin Dells, by the way. It didn't have the figures, and only the left side of the train had all the stickers on it. Alright, next is Baby Newton. I don't know if I had this or not. I know I had something similar about that, but I didn't even know you could sharpen crayons. I always thought you could only sharpen pencils. If you could sharpen crayons, you could sharpen markers too. I don't know why that hasn't happened, or if that isn't a thing yet. Hmm. Oh well, moving on. I had the not exact version of the Collider Gears as a kid. Over time, the stickers kind of wore out. No matter how much I taped them down, it was no use, so I had to just rip them off, and I sold it. Yeah, I sold it. Alright, next. Not a whole lot else I could say. There is a green jumping clown. It's not as common as the others are, I can tell you that. These two I found in a Heroes catalog. This catalog dates back to 2007, and it had every BE Heroes item in it, except for the Super Helter Skelter that we just passed by right here. Alright, next. My cousin has this. In fact, when I was over there for Christmas last year, he still had it. Even though he had just begun college, it was still sitting in his closet. Alright, next we have Baby Beethoven. This my special ed teacher used to have, the Discovery Toys version, not the Corsetti version. Alright, moving on. I now finally recall that my music teacher actually had the thing from World of Rhythm that we'll get to later on. I do think she had this though. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. Oh well. My music teacher from elementary school, by the way. Yeah, she's retired now, so I don't know if her successor still has these in the music room. I saw this at a friend's house when I was about 3 or 4 years old. Yeah, it's a bit of a long stretch. In a different neighborhood I visited, one of the residents had a red, white, and blue version of the Rainbow Trio pinwheel. I saw this at preschool once. This I actually still have. The yellow flag and the topper are missing, and the squeaker is disconnected, which is super great. So it's not annoying as hell. There is a hand powered version of this, by the way, but good luck trying to find it. Oh, yeah, something else I forgot to mention. The plasma bowl from Baby Buck, which is not on here because it's super common. I saw it at the Museum of Natural History gift shop in New York. Surprising enough. Alright, next. Not a whole lot I could say. This my aunt used to have. Alright, next is Baby Neptune. Funny enough, I saw the Hungry Pelican at Goodwill once, but it was missing the shrimp, so I didn't buy it. Someone else did, though. Used to have this. There are different colored versions of this out there, so be careful what you search. Why does that face remind me of Tigger for some reason? Oh well. I saw these all over the place in Chinatown at New York City. Most of them were the ones with the baby on its back. Excuse me. This I have. Mm-hmm. That's basically it. Let's move on to Baby Galileo. I saw this in a different catalog once. It was an old catalog, though, so I didn't bother getting it. This I remember seeing at my special ed teacher had this, in fact. She purchased it at Six Flags Great America. My cousin had this, and it was also in the gift shop at the Museum of Natural History. Saw this at Barnes and Noble. Oh yeah, if you want to look for the non-exact version of these, look no further than the Burlington Toy Museum in Burlington, Wisconsin. I don't exactly know where that is, but whatever. I used to have an FAO Schwartz version of the humming top. Alright, for the Moon Man, my kindergarten teacher had Chuck right here. We have Chuck, Rusty, Sparky, and Cosmo. Or is it Sparky and this is Cosmo? I don't know for sure. Moving on. My music teacher in elementary school also had these. I do remember my preschool also had a bunch of Viking Chubby's toys, though I am not sure which ones they had. It was definitely a tub full of them. I had the Z Windups version of this, and unfortunately it broke once I wound it up one too many times. This my aunt used to have, and if you're wondering where the lead paint was used, it's in the top of the blue block. I had the Z Windups version of the Ladybug as well. And I actually saw one of these at my library once. It's not there anymore. You can find this, along with Mr. Monkey and the Atomic Robots, at the Branson Toy Museum in Missouri, alongside many other things. This I used to have, but the trailer was blue and its wheels were red. Other than that, it was still good. And believe it or not, I got this at Farm and Fleet, or Fleet and Farm. They're two separate companies. The triangle is a part of the Band in a Box by Melissa and Doug, which I used to have. We'll get more into that later. Other than that, I've had nothing else from McDonald. Baby Da Vinci? I saw this in art class at elementary school. My special ed teacher had this as well, except it wasn't the one with the feet. It was the original one invented by Eddie Goldfarb, who is still alive today. He's around 103. This I remember seeing in stores like Party City. This my cousins used to have. I saw this at Gunderson Lutheran at the therapy spot I was at. So yeah, that's very interesting. It wasn't this version though. It was the version with the darker color, the blue hands and legs, and the red hat. Alright, baby Noah. Not a whole lot I can say about this. Except I did used to own the Circo version. The company Circo, which called this the Jumbo Shape Sorter. There are many different versions of this, so be careful. My preschool had this. Alright, now we move on to 2004. Here is where things get tough. The Fantasy Train set actually has the Rusty engine. Rusty is related to the KC engine, but its cab has a darker shade of green, and its windows are orange instead of yellow. And good luck trying to find these LGB products anywhere. Model railroading is not cheap. I saw a bunch of these in Barnes and Noble once too. I don't exactly know why. This my special ed teacher had. I think she borrowed it from my music teacher. I also saw this at college as well. Not a whole lot else I can say here. I did see this at a friend's house once, but that was also when I was like 3 or 4 years old. I had the super stacking tops. The adapter broke because I twisted it too hard, and all three of the things inside of it broke. So I got another set, and I made the mistake. I made the same mistake twice. Next, the Minimals is a brand by Manhattan Toy. I saw the cat and the dog at my library once. This I saw in the Learning Resources catalog that came with the Under the Sea set. I don't think there's anything else you can find in I I I can think of in Baby Santa, with the exception of the red rose. My cousins had a pink version, or they still have a pink version. Actually, I've seen it on their Christmas tree every time we went there for Christmas. And yeah, there are different colors of this, so be careful. Not a whole lot I can say about the other stuff though. The 3D gears, I only specifically remember them because my kindergarten teacher had this, the advanced version, which is a whole lot more rarer than what you're used to. Hang on, let me try to get back if I can. Here, I'll just do this right real quick. There we go. Not a whole lot I can say for Baby Monet, except I do remember seeing this in my special ed teacher's room. I think she was borrowing it. Not a whole lot I can say for Baby Wordsworth either. Except for the wildflowers. My middle school library had one of these, and I also saw it in someone's cart at Goodwill. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. This I still have. This my younger brother used to have. I saw this at Target once. I didn't get it. Why would I? It's it's not as cool as a lot of other remote control cars, if you know what I'm saying. You can find this anywhere. I found it at my children's museum once. This I used to own. This I saw at one of my neighbor's houses. This I saw at the YMCA without the pilot. I used to own, for the traveling discovery cards, I used to own the ocean and the alphabet versions of this. Moving on now. Meet the orchestra. The maracas were also part of the band in the box set, as were the tambourine and the cymbals. This I saw at one of my neighbor's houses as well, and my middle school band director also had this. My trombone professor had it, and he took it with him when he retired. This I also used to have, and there is a funny story about this. The drumsticks were recalled in 2003 because the ends could break off and pose a choking hazard. Other than that, they're still quite common to find. My neighbors also had this, and my other neighbors had this. Alright, favorite places. Not a whole lot I can say. Yeah, not a whole lot at all. I thought my grandparents had this when I looked at a picture. I looked again and found it, well, the bandana was the same. The pig was not. Just getting that out there for you. This I used to have. If you're wondering why it was a puncture and laceration hazard, it's because there are sharp wires in between the foam, and if babies tore at it, they would uh they would injure themselves with the sharp wires. All right, moving on. Not a whole lot else I can say. I did manage to find this at my cousin's house as well when we were celebrating Christmas, except the right arm was broken. I am actually kind of surprised that Hobby Lobby sold this. Not a whole lot I can say for my first signs, because my family stopped collecting BE videos after first moves. And I'm actually glad we did. Sure, you can find fun balls like that all over the place. I am not sure if you can find them at places after Toys R Us closed, but oh well. Not a whole lot I can say for discovering shapes. Except I do believe this game went on to inspire Connect 4. Or is it the other way around? I do not know. This I've seen in preschool and elementary school. Lullaby time. Not a whole lot I can say. Except my YMCA had a different version of this marble run. I don't know which version it was. And my middle school library had this. My children's museum had these. Alright, first sounds. And remember, first sounds is the worst sounds. Alright. I had the Z windups version of this, and both the wings broke, so it didn't. So when I, so it yeah, it didn't work anymore after that. This I remember having as a baby. This I also had as a baby, and so did my older brother before me. I remember seeing this in an old picture with one of my cousins. World music? I just cannot believe they showcased actual instruments as toys. Like, I'm pretty sure anyone could learn musical instruments like these with ease. Saw this at Goodwill, but didn't get it. And same with the Castle Pounder, because it was incomplete. Moving on, I also saw this in my in the learning resources catalog that came with my Under the Sea set. There's not really a whole lot else I can say. Not a whole lot I can say for World Animal Adventure either. Discovery Kits, I can say a few things, but not a whole lot. This I used to have. This my music teacher had. I'm not sure if she had these too, though. I am unsure. I do remember seeing this at Once Upon a Child once. This I used to have, and this. The Gunderson Lutheran where I had therapy sessions at had the original version, the original Tomy version of this. It had a red hat, a yellow body, and blue hands and legs. We're gonna move on now. This I do remember having. You'd be hard pressed not to see this in any music store you go to. I've seen it in pretty much all the school bands I've played with and in all the music stores I've been in. Even guitar stores like Guitar Center. Other than that, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. Bye.